After working for years as a policy advocate and practitioner, I had an interest in figuring out how to bridge the scholar-practitioner divide. As a researcher, I can help unpack the complexities of global environmental challenges and policy solutions in ways that are more accessible to policymakers and practitioners. My name is Kim Marian Suisia. I'm an assistant professor of political science here at Purdue University. In my research, I ask questions about how justice and injustice for forest peoples are produced. In particular, I investigate how different rules, policies, laws, and norms are negotiated and developed in international negotiations, such as the UN climate negotiations, and then how these are translated into policy and into practice in places like Laos. In Laos, I ask forest villagers and civil society representatives and government representatives about their understandings of justice and injustice and what their experiences related to environmental policies are. Through this, I can trace how different ideas of justice result in different forms of justice or injustice at the community level. So a lot of people will ask, why does justice matter when we're talking about global climate governance? And many scholars and policymakers would actually argue that justice is a necessary condition for effective climate governance and for addressing global environmental challenges. But most of our current approaches to global environmental governance can result in negative impacts, particularly for the most vulnerable and marginalized groups in society. The research that I conduct can help us better understand the rich and diverse ways in which justice can be experienced and how we can think about designing institutions to produce more just and sustainable outcomes. So the one thing that everyone should know about climate change is that we cannot solve climate change problems if we first don't look at the justice implications of climate change solutions and impacts. The core debates around climate governance center on questions of distribution, of who has to pay to solve climate change issues, who bears the burden if we don't solve climate change issues, and who benefits from solving climate change issues. These are all questions of distribution, but we also need to ask questions about recognition and procedure in identifying who even gets to sit at the table. If we don't focus on these kinds of questions, we won't be able to solve the climate change challenge.